Who gives you the best chance to win games? Who gives you the best chance to win your conference?
Hot take alert. J.J. McCarthy is going to start this week. He will never relinquish the Michigan starting quarterback position. You compete for your job every year. This is just because you were the quarterback last year doesn't mean you just get to be the quarterback this year. It was a freaking missile with no regard for C.J. Stokes' hands. Right. I don't think Cade has that ball. Braylon, lots to talk about in relation to the Michigan football team, but there has been no bigger topic with this football team than the quarterback 100%. Position. And just with the naked eye alone, J.J. McCarthy is your quarterback. Yeah. Period. End of story. And I said this before, I'll say it again. I love Cade McNamara. Yeah. What he did for the University of Michigan, ending this crazy losing streak to Ohio State and winning a Big Ten championship. He will go down in the history books as the quarterback that led Michigan to relevance, once again, for lack of a better way to say it.
It's the second best season in school history.
Absolutely. This is no slight to him. But at the University of Michigan, and I heard what he said post-game after saying, I was a little surprised about the way this quarterback situation was going to work out. I'd start week 1, JJ would start week 2. And he always kind of sounded like he was owed the job. Right. And this is the first time I ever disagreed with anything that Cade McNamara ever said. Because at Michigan, you compete for your job every year. Yeah. This is just because you were the quarterback last year doesn't mean you just get to be the quarterback this year. You have to compete for it. And unfortunately for Cade, the guy behind him is better. And it happens at every position. Whether you're an offensive lineman, whether you're a linebacker, DB, there are players who are going to come in that just happen to be better than you. Yeah. And there are 2 examples I'd like to give you, Braylon, where JJ is just better. One, and somebody tweeted to me about this. There was more read option. Cade didn't take it once. JJ takes the read option, keeps it, scores the touchdown. Yep. Cade would have handed that ball off because Cade always handed the ball off. And then there was, I think I found the play I was looking for. It was in the 4th quarter. It was a 15-yard pass to C.J. Stokes. Yep. It was a freaking missile. An absolute missile with no regard for C.J. Stokes' hands. Right. Okay? And I don't think Cade has that ball. This team is a 12-0 caliber 12-0 team with J.J. McCarthy at quarterback. He is, excuse me. Hot take alert. Hot take alert. J.J. McCarthy is going to start this week. He will never relinquish the Michigan starting quarterback position for the rest of the season and until his time at Michigan is done. J.J. McCarthy, your Michigan quarterback.
I like that take a lot. One thing, let me ask you a question. Let me pose it to you and Maz. Pose this to you this way. Do you think for a second that Jim Harbaugh always had the plan that J.J. was going to be the guy? J.J. was going to start week 2. J.J. was then eventually going to, from week 3 on, J.J.'s going to be the guy. But he didn't necessarily want to start and show. He didn't want to start and show the offense, or is it like, hey, let's do it this way so it looked like I gave Cade a fair shake?
Yes, with a little caveat.
Okay, explain.
I think yes with a big one. I think you hit it on the button.
Yeah. He always knew that J.J. McCarthy was the better quarterback because you can't watch these 2 players play and deduce anything different. But because of all those things that I said about Cade, beating Ohio State, winning a Big Ten championship, leading Michigan to their first ever college football. You can't just, out of respect
the
for
kid didn't
all
do
of
anything
that,
wrong.
Out of respect for Cade, you can't just say, well, I guess you could, but he didn't feel it was the right thing to do to say, you know what, I'm going to make JJ the quarterback week 1. I think out of respect for Cade and all of his past accomplishments, he did get game one. We saw it with our own eyes. Missed reads, overthrows. There was an interception that wasn't an interception because of a penalty. It's pretty simple. It's not hard.
Let me ask you guys this really quick. Sorry, Brad.
Oh, no, go ahead, man.
This is the truth. I really don't know the answer to this. How soon before a player can transfer and play?
Now, I think.
I don't know.
Can he transfer now?
I don't know. Now, again,
Sam, do you know?
No, it's seasonal. I think you have until like November.
I don't know, because let's face it, this ain't the old college football.
I appreciate the question. I do think it is seasonal or every semester or something like that. And, when Jim Harbaugh was made fun of saying it's biblical, I understand the reference.
Yeah,
you never know what's going to happen.
No, you don't.
I mean, J.J. McCarthy could get run over by a Mack truck today. And God forbid. And you're going to need J.J. Cade McNamara. And in fact, I don't think this will happen, but if JJ isn't that quarterback that we think he is, it's much easier to go from JJ to Cade than I think from Cade to JJ.
Understood.
Does that make sense?
It does.
I think being a little bit more extra.
He's a different quarterback.
An extra year under his belt, I think Cade has more of a could get in there as a replacement to JJ and be that guy if he needed to be. I don't think he'll have to be.
It's 2022. The landscape has changed in college football. It's no longer keeping one quarterback in and then waiting until his tenure is over and then you go with the next guy. Like, you got to go with the guy that gives you the best chance. And we've seen this play out before. We've talked about it on the show once. You talk about Clemson. Kelly Robinson's the guy. They go all the way to the college football playoff and they lose. Next year he starts to plays the first 4 games and then they bring in Trevor Lawrence. Because what? Trevor Lawrence gave them the best opportunity to win a national championship, and oh, by the way, he did. You look at the situation with Jalen Hurts and Tua Tagovailoa. When they were at Alabama, Nick Saban knew who was a better quarterback. Jalen Hurts can only do so much at the time. He couldn't take you over the hump, and at halftime of the national championship game, he didn't have any quarrels about pulling Jalen and putting in Tua Tagovailoa. Look at what happened to him. They won a national championship. Nowadays, we don't have time to wait 4 years for the next guy up. Who gives you the best chance to win games? Who gives you the best chance to win your conference? And that's J.J. McCarthy. When he's in the game, it feels different. It looks different. When Cade McNamara is in there, bless his soul, I'm waiting for the players on offense to make a play for Cade. When JJ's in there, I'm waiting for JJ to make the play for the other players. That's the difference. Cade, you're like, okay, I hope Eric All makes a hell of a catch. Or I hope that Blake Corum has a big run. Or I hope that Donovan Edwards has a reverse touchdown pass. Or I hope that, Roman Wilson catches a bubble screen and takes it 61 yards. With J.J. McCarthy, I'm like, oh, I know we're good. I know a big play is coming from him to somebody.
Remember last week when Jim Harbaugh was speaking? And what was the one thing that he said that sticks out in my mind? It sticks out in everyone's mind when it comes to the quarterbacks. Do you remember it, maybe?
Say it one more time.
Jim Harbaugh, last week, when he was speaking about the quarterbacks.
He thinks it'll become pretty clear, doesn't he?
What he said was, this guy can turn water into wine. It's over. Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's the line. It's over. Are you going to use that guy, or are you going to use the guy that's just water?
And you heard from some of those defensive players. Mazzie Smith today on another radio network in Detroit said that when JJ is the quarterback, it is a lot harder to stop the offense in practice than, and he didn't mean it as a slight.
Right.
Obviously, the kid's just talking. He's just telling the truth.
Guy.
Because of the running element, it is much harder to stop JJ. You said something I want to pick up on. It just looks different with JJ. I'll tell you what looked different with JJ in the game. We'll do that next.